So as I mentioned, 17 straight games without scoring 30 points for Paul George dating back to the regular season. You saw what he did earlier in the series, his breakout game in Game 3. That is a playoff high this season, 31, knocking down 6 threes in the victory, 26-point victory against the Jazz. Got B-Wood and Smitty in here. Looking at Paul George, Smitty, what did you see that he was doing differently in Game 3 as opposed to what he did earlier in the series?
My high school coach, my college coach, and a lot of my pro coaches. If you play north and south with that type of ability, that doesn't mean I put my head down and run everybody over. You got to have 2 moves going north and south. And we'll watch Paul George. This is north and south. I'm coming downhill until somebody stops me. Nobody stops you, you do that. That's easy, right? Next possession right here, coming off, you got him in movement. Hold it up, get the basketball up, get the basketball back. And what I love right here is north and south. It's north and south. You still dribbling, but it's a lot of north and south in this game for me. He has the talents to go east and west because of his handle. But in playoffs, your job is to beat one guy, make the next guy help. After you do that, you establish that, you can go to that. That's secondary. But right now, north and south right now, and guess what? Because he's going north and south, you put on brakes, the guy goes away. This one, B-Wood, that's north and south.
That's north and south. Hey,
Everything is north and south.
I like that other one, though. Hey, he crossed Joe Ingles up, and Joe Ingles tried to go into a defensive rotation. Joe, you can't hide. We seen what you did. I ain't never seen nobody get crossed over into a defensive rotation. He tried to act like he was rotating to the weak side. You can't hide, Jingles. We see what that was. He hit you. He hit you good, too.
At 6'9", offensive players always have advantage. But at 6'9" and can handle the basketball and shoot and have some athleticism, I'm going north and south. There's nothing you can take away from me, especially when I can do this and I have other teammates that can make shots. And Kawhi Leonard is my other guy. If B-Wood is Kawhi, I'm driving toward B-Wood. Reason why, that guy not leaving.
He's not going to help.
And if he does, I'm going to make him pay.
Yeah.
And Kawhi, we know he made him pay in Game 3 as well. He had 34. We know what he's about to do. And like we showed the Jordan meme earlier, clearly Kawhi took it personally. He turned that game to another level. But looking at the others for the Clippers, you see Reggie Jackson. He's been performing well. You see Luke Kennard, who was pretty much non-existent early in the Dallas series. Then he comes on late. What have you thought about the rest of the Clippers outside of the top 2 offensive producers?
I think that you haven't been able to consistently say who's going to be in the rotation even, because Luke Kennard was out of the rotation. Listen, when he first came into that series, he probably didn't even know if he was going to play. And then they throw him in there, and he hit some shots early on in the series. Reggie Jackson has been the one constant. He's been consistent throughout the playoffs. Reggie Jackson has been huge for the Clippers. That pickup is an underrated signing right now. And then you look at everybody else. Sometimes it's Marcus Morris Sr., sometimes it's Nicholas Batum. They have a bunch of guys that are capable, and you never know who's gonna give them buckets. But I always look at the quality of shots. And it goes back to what you just said about north and south. When Paul George attacks the basket, what that does is it creates wide open shots for Luke Kennard. It creates wide open shots for Marcus Morris. And now those role players, all they have to do is do what they were put there to do, make shots. They stay in their role. They don't have to create their own offense. So I think any of these Clippers guys can step up as long as it starts with Paul George. Paul George being aggressive, getting downhill, is going to get Kennard, Batum, Marcus Morris Sr., all those guys are going to get easy shots. So I like the role players on this team.
And I think for me, Ro, me and B-Will was talking about it in the break, I add T. Lue as the other because that's not one of the superstars. He's the coach. He has tried different things. Yeah. Whether it works or not, he has tried different things. Me and B-Wood have been around the game for a long time. Every adjustment does not work, but we're watching T. Lue go from, B-Wood just said, he doesn't know who's going to be consistent. So he's going Luke Kennard, he's going Reggie, he's going Rondo, he's going Patrick Beverly, Terrence Mann. He is trying and searching. One guy I like as the other is Nicholas Batum has been solid.
Yeah. Productors is not a word. I threw that in there. That wasn't the right thing. Offensive options, primary options. Hey, man, I corrected myself on live television.
We're a little productors don't hurt nobody. You know?